Really? YouTube channel. My name is Troy, and this is a 2004 Land Rover Discovery 2, and I'm going to tell you why this is the right one you should buy, and let you know that it is for sale. So let's jump right into it. So if you watch my channel a lot, I do some sales videos. Sometimes I am selling a car for someone, I'm selling a car for myself, or I'm selling a shop. And this one happens to be for a friend and a local mechanic and restoration service shop that put this one back together. Now, if you're new to the channel, or you're not new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Do all that fun YouTube stuff. Got lots of automotive content, not only Land Rovers, but BMWs, Mercedes, old Ford F-250 diesels, and pretty much everything else. But let's jump back into this particular 04 green D2. So you're looking for an older modern classic Land Rover that I think kind of classify the LR3s and L322s as modern classics. These, they're pretty much classics. They came out in '99, ran all the way to 04. If you're looking for one for whatever your use case is, it really would depend. You know, in 02 and 03 we won't have a center locking diff. This 04 though is kind of the best of all worlds, the most modern, older body style Land Rover you can get. It is a 4.6, since this is an 04, it also has a center locking differential and traction management. So depending on what your use case is for it, that really will depend what year you want to potentially purchase one of these from. Now, there's three ways to buy a Land Rover D1, D2, or Range Rover Class, or anything kind of in this category of older British trucks. Now, the first one is to buy for a couple grand. Think you have a deal, and if you're not mechanically inclined, you pay someone $5,000 to $7,000 to fix all the things that were neglected by the previous owner. Option two is you buy one from a dealer that looks pretty and has most of the things done, but didn't really pay attention to the high-ticket items like the head gasket, front timing cover, rust repair, paint. There's a whole myriad of different things can plague these things with a whole bunch of issues. I always say never trust a pretty Rover. And three, and that is what this option is, and I think this is the most cost-effective for everybody involved, is to buy a lower mileage 1-2 owner truck that had some type of catastrophic engine failure or something to that matter that was kind of discarded, and then picked up by someone that was capable and able to fix these things and fixed and repaired properly. And that is the category that we find ourselves in with this 2004 D2, and I'll tell you kind of the backstory. We'll run through it and take it on a test drive. Now, this particular truck, I believe it either had an engine failure or something that rendered this thing a brick, useless, at least from a powertrain standpoint. A well-known Rover mechanic that I know bought the body off what I believe is the original owner. I need to check the title to verify that, and replaced the motor with a 4.6, which it had one previously, but not just any replacement 4.6. It was done properly. It was taken apart, it was resealed, it had the head gasket, front timing cover, and anything that needed fixing instead of just a random engine from another random vehicle. You know, like I said, without having to buy a new long block and do everything, this is the best way to fix and repair it, so it is then at a price point that is affordable by just a normal average enthusiast like myself. So let's get down to the meat and potatoes of it, right? We're asking $8,500 for this truck, and I think that in the scheme of things is a very reasonable price for a truck that presents very well. You've got paint fade on the roof like they all do, but if we were to do that, do some paint work and whatnot, that'd probably elevate this to the $12,000 to $17,000 range, because that's kind of what they sometimes go for. I'm not saying that's what I would pay, but that's what they kind of go for. But again, let's just do a quick walk around, show the full condition. You know, no little cracks in the bumper. It's got KO2 BF Goodrich tires on it. Again, most of the paint looks pretty darn good. Headlights are a little bit faded, just usual old disco stuff. But most importantly, it's not rusty underneath. It's not leaky, it's not rusty. Everything under there looks good. If you're looking at a D2, always check the rear frame rails, and these are impeccable. They look awesome. Most of them are rotted from the inside out. Had weird drainage issues, especially if it was an East Coast truck, that really rendered them completely useless if affected by the terrible rust. Now this one looks like it's either been repaired or maintained, and that's exactly how you want to see it. And that's something that a lot of people fall for. They buy the truck, it looks good, it runs great. They never check that frame bit, and they find themselves in a very expensive place with a truck that won't pass inspection and is pretty much useless unless it's a dedicated trail truck that they probably overpaid for. All right, now let's jump in this 04 Disco, because it's raining. Fire it up and I'll show you what the dash looks like. There we go. 122,000 miles, no 3 amigos, no check engine light, just a smooth purring 4.6 disco. Now again, this is it's a pretty nicely spec'd one. It's not an SC7 or a 7-seater, but it's got nice tan leather. It has cup holders. Again, there's that high-low with diff lock. That's the money shot for guys that like to do a little bit off-roading like myself. Headliner's in good condition. There's a couple little stains on it. It's not perfect. It is a 20-year-old disco, but the seats work, everything functions. The AC is blowing nice and cold from all the vents. I've driven on the highway, cruise control works, and it's very presentable. Now, again, the breakdown with the price, like I said, we're asking $8,500. Now, if you could do any type of head gasket job, cylinder head work, engine replacement, or anything to do with some type of engine failure on a 4-liter or 4.6 D2, you're going to potentially eclipse those numbers just in engine work, minus the truck. You know, depending on where you bring it, or even if you do it yourself, there's a lot of variables that can be done. So why not get one that is already finished? Like I said, there's money to be made on this. Again, he got it for cheap. He put some time, labor, and effort and parts into it. But again, I think whoever buys will be getting a very solid truck that will be very good for a pretty long time. And then again, that allows him to do it again and bring another product to the market that someone who's interested, either an enthusiast or potentially a new buyer, can feel confident in. And that's kind of what is being, projected right here. Now, this D2 drives very nice, quiet, smooth. Again, I'm a D1 guy, so coming out of a D1, it always surprises me how much quieter and smoother a D2 feels. It is slightly more modern. Again, it's the most modern, old school Land Rover I think you can really buy that's retaining the off-road prowess and still has the good shape. Again, you've got a diff lock and traction control. They're pretty unstoppable with mud tires off-road. And it lends itself to a pretty tidy little package. I like that it has dash and the tan leather. It's kind of a cool color combination. And it's green. Come on, you've got to pay the green tax a little bit when it comes to Land Rovers. But transmission feels great. Let me check, verify, all the windows work. Yep, all the windows work, AC works, radio works. Let's pull down this alley and try out the transfer case just to ensure that works. You know, it's one of those things with lower mileage one owner vehicles. Sometimes they don't really put it in 4-low, which again, it's good if it shifts into 4-low, but sometimes can mean the linkages seized. So let's pop this out. Neutral, right into gear, and we are in low range. Awesome. No problem, not even a little bit of a hesitation there to get it into low range, which is a big pain in the ass when you can't get it to engage, honestly. And there's diff lock as well. I want to make sure I'm obviously showing that everything is functional here. Continuing my little test drive loops, again, no creaks, bang, suspension feels tight. Again, what more can you ask for a 20-year-old Land Rover, you know? Again, it's a 4.6, so yeah, there is, it's taken me a while to drive. I mean, I've driven dozens and dozens and dozens of these trucks, and the more I do drive, the more I do notice the slight power increase with the 4.6, with the 4-liter and 3.9, but that really just depends on the condition of the truck itself. Some can be, in need of a tune-up or something, so, your control for making that judgment is always a little bit different. And of course it started to rain, but again, giving you another quick walk around the truck itself. Underneath, what else do you want to see? I mean, the full fan parking alone, that's half the value right there. Nice truck. Running good. So that's my quick little spiel. If you're still watching, I appreciate the view. If you're interested in this truck, message me on Instagram at Addicted Motors or addicted.motors.us@gmail.com and let me know. Like I said, I have a few people online that are already interested in it. If you're looking to dip your toes into the Rover world, I think this is probably your safest bet. To have a pretty capable out-of-the-box truck that you can drive home, whether you're across the country or somewhere else, and you know, go from there. So, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.